Hi there, this is Self-Critical Automaton, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Resident Evil 4. This is episode 5, and it actually is episode 5 for once, so that's good. Well, I suppose it's only going to be episode 5 once, but I've got the episode numbers wrong pretty much every time, so, you know. Something that's worth noting is that I'm still really ill because I get really bad allergies and they last all summer, so I might be coughy or spluttery. I'll try and edit that stuff out, otherwise I might be a bit more hoarse than usual or whatever. Everything he has on sale here is stuff that we'll be able to get later in the game, including the rocket launcher, except for whatever that is up the top there. It's possible that it was originally intended that you would be able to get that assault rifle looking gun up from the top, but it was just removed from the game or never quite added in. So he's going to give me a free gun because I shot a bunch of blue medallions, because this world makes sense. I'm going to sell off my old handgun first.
Thank you. What are you buying?
This is why I have not upgraded the handgun, and to be honest, I'm going to sell this handgun relatively quickly, because the best handgun in the game is
Thank you.
coming up within the next hour or so of gameplay, so there wouldn't be much point.
What are you selling?
But yeah, there's an interesting thing that I'll mention, which is that
Is that a
the
Thank you.
I'm gonna get rid of this chicken egg as well.
Thank you.
Which is that the barrels and things that you can find, when you break them open, what they contain is randomized. It's not set loot or anything like that. I'll try and edit out any sniffles or coughing. But yeah, so the special handgun that he gives, I think, is automatically upgraded to level 2 if you get all 15 medallions. I'm not certain on that, and I really ought to look this stuff up, and hey, that looks awfully familiar. I'm sure it will be fine, and that it's not going to fall down and make me run away from it again. It's not like that happens all the time. What I want to know is every time some poor hapless traveller comes through this area, do they set up new rocks, or is it just that Leon gets rock duty? I think I talked about this last time, but the game uses all of the same inputs for all of the QTEs in the game, or rather, it uses a selection of 2 and switches between them. I think I will be heading to a boss now, or at least fairly soon. Oh no, it's a little while away yet. This is going to be pretty fun, considering the mechanics of the combat in the game are fun. There's a whole bunch of traps and guys here. This is the next big open encounter, but there's really no interactable environment except for the dynamite traps, which I can set off deliberately by shooting them to catch... Whoa, nice shot, dude. So yeah, these guys can breathe water, apparently, because they are not bothered in any way by being dropped into the water. I mean, I would drown in, what, 3 feet of water? But apparently this guy would not. As you can see... Hey! Getting good at that. Oh, come on, that was a total miss. How did he come from? So yeah, this gun, of course, does less damage, as I have mentioned. Oh my god, I died. That's never happened. In all my test videos of doing this, I've never died. And in fact, I think I only died like twice the last time I played through this entire game. Good lord. So yeah, we don't have to go back very far, so I'm not going to edit that out or anything. I'm just going to focus on being competent instead. Isn't that a good idea? So, as I was saying, there's very little in the way of interactable environment. There's no barricades that you can... make use of, no useful windows to dive out of to avoid, well, this gentleman over and over again, presumably. It's worth noting that in addition to the ability to shoot out of the air thrown objects. You can also block them with your knife. So yeah, if you can line up headshots with this pistol, it's great. It will save you a lot of ammunition. If you can't line up multiple headshots in a row, by which I mean multiple people in a row and headshotting them all simultaneously, then it will cost you something. Oh hey, there's a snake. Hey, I got it. Fantastic. That means that it won't sneak up behind me and bite me later. However, the individual bullet damage is... Okay, so we learned something there. And that's a very useful lesson to have learned. They can set off their own dynamite traps. I suppose there's not actually any need to just fight everything in this area, but... Oh, I did get it. As you can also see, if you damage an egg, it will... Oh hey, I managed to hit that guy in the leg without really noticing. As you can see, I have a shitload of ammunition, so... I really should just focus on doing this. And doing this, which is really the same thing. Is shooting someone in the head the same action as shooting someone else in the belly? This is a question for philosophers to resolve. Yes, I must forget that. There is, unusually, not in a container, there is just a random hand grenade lying around over here. So, I've switched back to the TMP because it's really useful for crowds. The individual bullet damage is very low, and the impact and knockback are also almost absent. However, you can just do this. Well, I guess you can't do that for very long. Good thing I picked up a grenade. So, I guess it sucks to be those guys. However, on the bright side, they won't drown. Now, what a question I have is, will Leon drown if he gets knocked down into the water? As far as I can tell, there's no way to find out. So I guess mechanically it's irrelevant. And I guess mechanically he can't drown. However, it's absolutely possible later in the game to get knocked to the ground by certain enemy types, which have tackling attacks. Where the fuck did he come from? I was expecting all of them to... Yeah, see, the advantage of shotguns is I don't have to aim. I can just pop them in the face, and then they're all done. Stick a fork in it, he's done. And by done, I mean no longer able to stick a fork in me, which is good. Oh shit, he's still alive. Weirdly, these guys remind me more of vampires than zombies. With the whole hissing and diving towards you thing. I suppose... yeah. I love how matter-of-fact the... I mean, it's just an aspect of the... I don't seem to be able to smash any of these without killing the snakes. That's new. I've never... I mean, by which I mean I've never had that happen before, but it's happened twice in this episode. Like that, yep. So, as I said, the advantage of this handgun is that it penetrates targets so that you can damage 2 targets with 1 bullet, which is more efficient than using the other gun to shoot twice. However, that's fairly situational, so I only use it for this sequence, really. Well, not this sequence, but the next little while. And then we'll swap it out for the Red 9, which is the handgun we'll be using for the rest of the game. I'll have some things to say about the Red 9 when it shows up, but that won't be for a while. Makes a good noise, good sound effect. Nice crack, which is not something you should say to someone unless you're very intimate with them. Okay. I'm just going to ignore that snake. I've already dealt enough of death to its countrymen. Do they have snakes in Spain? That's a good question, if you ask me. I mean, I know they have snakes here in Britain, so... Oh god, you can tell how ill I'm sounding. Jesus Christ. I was fine until an hour ago. I've really gone downhill. I guess my medications have worn off. There's the other policeman. Now, what I want to know is if they're disposing of the bodies, why have they decided to burn one and then just throw the other in the lake? I mean, it doesn't exactly destroy the evidence of this guy with his policia jacket and stuff. And what we're about to find out in a few seconds is that they are feeding Delego, the lake monster. Although Delego does just mean the lake. So if they need to feed it, why didn't they feed it both guys? Or if they didn't want to overfeed it, why didn't they feed it one guy now and then the other guy the next time? Why burn one in the village and feed the other to a lake monster? It just seems inefficient to me, which is, you know, my main criticism of these people. It doesn't matter that they're throwing people to be eaten by things, or burning people alive, or pitchforking people in the head, for that matter. Which I'm not referring to me. There was the corpse of a villager woman with a pitchfork where her head should be. So, God, 10 more minutes of this horrible croaky audio from me, huh? Oh, there's nothing. I sometimes wonder if the presence or absence of... Ah, see, I remembered that time. Make a safety save. Yeah, I find myself wondering if the presence of or absence of things in barrels is predetermined. So, you may notice this fish here. There's a reason I'm not going to try and shoot these ones, and that reason is... well... Okay, I'll show you what happens if I try and do a little bit of fishing. Oh hey, I got some. This is... I don't know why all fishermen don't do this. This is so much faster and more efficient. I mean, really, anyone who wants to try and catch fish for any purposes, whether it's... Oh, I suppose it wouldn't be very good for... Oh my goodness me. So yeah, that's just a little gotcha that the developers put in there. If you decide to just stand on the shore and shoot into the water for a while, after a certain amount of bullets hitting the water, I think is what actually triggers the effect, is, yeah, Del Lego just comes and eats you. No save, no chance of dodging, nothing. Just catches you. So this is the game's first real boss fight. Unlike most of the rest of the boss fights in the game, it has a gimmick, but it does not have a subsequent straight combat section. Most of the bosses in the game have a gimmicky section at first, and then just a straight up gunfight. Okay then. Normally it would have come out and attacked by now. There we go. Pretty filthy looking water, but I suppose it is a lake that they store all their corpses in. It's a corpse lake. It's worth noting it has little stubby legs, and based on that and its body plan, it's presumably not a fish. I think a lot of people refer to it as a fish, but it's not. It's clearly based on a salamander, and judging by the writhing tentacles... Actually, no, that won't make sense. Later on, we're going to identify writhing tentacles as being the call sign of the parasite, but for now, this is the first time we've really seen them. So, it has pretty predictable cycles. It swims around for a little while trying to drag us into all of this flotsam. Yeah, if it makes you smash into it, you get knocked out of the boat, and then there's one of these. If you fail this, it eats you, hardly surprising. It's, although for some reason it decides not to smash you. It's also pretty much random whether or not you'll get hit by these. There's very little you can do to control it. Basically, if it decides to just swim straight... Okay, here we go. Well, that went terribly, didn't it? Oh dear, in my practice episode, I managed to defeat this thing without it killing me once. It never even knocked me out of the boat. But as I said, it's basically random whether or not you'll get knocked out of the boat. You can swerve side to side to dodge it, but if it decides to swim pretty much straight through, and it can, then you will get tugged into it no matter how you try to dodge. So I'm going to try this again, and I'm going to have to skip the cutscenes, because this is a game that does that horrible thing. Skip. So it takes about 12 or 15 strikes of the, thankfully, infinite harpoons that we have. And yeah, for the most part it just swims around trying to drag you into these things, and then periodically will try and drop you. Yep, there we go. I've always hated press X as rapidly as possible style QTEs, they really irritate me. So yeah, I need to stab it about 15 times. Please hold any clever references to Moby Dick until the end of the tour. That's about 4, so I've got about... Yeah, okay. Interspersed between the dragging you around segments are these segments where you sort of become a turret made out of a boat, inexplicably, which is weird. It doesn't move in any kind of a logical sense. And when it comes at you like that, you need to try and hit it in the mouth. That should have been a hit. Maybe it was. When you inevitably make it let you go, make the game let you go out of that stance. But I do love how you just can completely pivot and turn on a dime whenever it's coming straight forwards towards you, but never at any other point. Also, I should probably use one of these. So yeah, a little bit more max health is always nice. I knew a man named Max Health once. That's not true. I wonder if there is anyone called Max Health. Here we go again. So yeah, time to magically and perfectly pivot. Let's see, where is he? There he is. Open wide. And there we go. As long as you hit it in the mouth before it reaches you, it'll dodge past you, I guess. Not entirely sure how. I mean, the length of the rope seems to be highly variable, is what I mean. It's about, what, 12 feet here, but it can also dive and resurface from very far away. And that's the end of that. I kind of feel like it should have been able to survive a bit more than that, but whatever, I'm only playing on normal difficulty. And also, you know, I'm not an expert on giant undersea newts. So yeah, tap, 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 tap. Yep, okay. I mean, it seems like it's dead here, but I imagine you just hurt it enough to make it go away. And I've just realised I completely missed out on the opportunity to do some kind of ridiculous Moby Dick references of my own, you know. Oh well, too late now. Mutters Leon to himself as he sidles slowly out of frame. Feeling a bit seasick, my dude. That's not surprising. Wow, you must be really seasick. He's so dramatic. God, if I ever act like that when I'm feeling ill, I get told off. Safety save. It's nothing quite like a little floor nap when you're feeling ill. Weirdly, that's not even that strange. I don't know. I hate lying on the floor, but my girlfriend can just sleep on the... Oh my goodness. Yeah, I know that feeling. I really do. It's interesting to me that, you know, this horrible parasitic infection doesn't seem to be affecting his appearance the way it does all of the ganados. They all look kind of, like, rotted or whatever. Yeah, we don't care.
Leon, it's been 6 hours since our last transmission. I was starting to get worried.
Don't worry, I was having a nap.
Anyway, I started to feel dizzy, and then I guess I must have lost consciousness.
Oh my god, dude, don't
Lost
hit on your
consciousness.
extra
Maybe that has some
legal...
connection to what the village chief was talking about.
I don't even know what she
Can't
is.
say.
Like an operator.
But I'm all right now. I'm gonna continue my mission.
So yeah, that's that long sequence of cutscenes finally done. This is worth remembering, except that's just actually plot information. It's not a secret or anything. It's just somewhere you have to go and do. Oh no, the giant. Anyway, yeah, the ganados themselves presumably have been infected longer, considering they all look like they're falling apart. You know, they all look rotted and icky and gross. And I mean that in a literal sense. The textures used for their skin and stuff are greebly and you know, just kind of dirty looking. But not Leon. Look at that. Look at those boy band good looks that he has. Traipsing off around the world like some kind of international man of misery, shooting the locals, shooting their lakes, since, look at the size of that. Do you even get black bass in Europe? I'm pretty sure they're American. Oh, I don't know enough to know that. That's, oh, okay. One of the frustrating things about fishing is that it's really oh, no! Let's try that again. Oh, yes, okay, I can still use these. Let's see. Can I catch that one? Can I scoot backwards? Yes, I can. Fantastic. From hell's heart I stab at thee! Yes, it worked. Fantastic. Okay. And now I'm stuck. Get off, it keeps saying. Does Leon get off on all this violence? He seems weirdly distant, actually, so I imagine not. Whoa, look at the size of that. That's not gonna fit. Jesus. And I forgot it's backspace, because the people who designed this game were insane. It looks like I've got just enough room for one of these. So I'll keep this one, and then, oh no, I don't have enough room. Can I just... No, okay, fine. Okay, this was a whole horrible fishing misadventure. I can't even use it. Well, okay, I'm not going to bother with that anymore because, oh, screw it, now I have to. I've just realised, that's not how you reload. Oh, heavens, I'm so ill. Jesus Christ. Maybe I should just take a break. I don't know. I don't really want to, but, right, okay. All of that nonsense dealt with, and the fish is, of course, gone. So, screw it. I'm going to sail over here, except I don't have a sail. So yeah, this is a secret bonus shop. It's really just it's just the same shop, really. In fact, I think it might be... No, it's not. I thought for a moment this might have been the underground shop I found earlier, but I say, as if it was in any way hidden. This guy really is just operating openly. Maybe he even has the consent of the locals. I don't actually know anything about his situation, and neither does anyone else. So, yeah, this is just a bonus shop opportunity, I guess, is what you'd call it. There's a few items scattered around. Yeah, and there's one up here as well. And, yeah, other than that, it's just an opportunity to, push some boxes around, because you gotta love crate pushing puzzles. Gotta love them, because God knows Resi's gonna have plenty more. Still, that is one of the unique gems, which are the only ones that can be socketed in... Can I drop down here? Nope, okay. Which are the ones that can be socketed? In the mask, I think. So I'm just going to take a quick look. That was the wrong pause button. It's always strange to me when games have two separate ones. I get that they have... I get that the idea is to separate, like, gameplay stuff to one menu, and then non-gameplay stuff to another, but still. So there'll be 2 more for that one, and 2 more for that one. This one... and this one... you can just sell as they are. But yeah, that's why it's good to come back here. If you just head straight onwards, you don't notice this guy. It's if you turn around and go back to the lake, you can see the blue lights in the distance. So really, it's just an extra opportunity to do some shop stuff, which is made available to anyone who is the kind of obsessive weirdo like myself, who will just always immediately turn around and explore the rest of the area they were just in whenever there was a cutscene of you leaving said area. Developers really like to hide stuff there. I don't know why, but they do. Ah, that's good. I'll grab one of them as well. The first aid spray is just as strong as a red and green herb combined. So it's a very powerful healing item, so it's good to have it around. I'll just grab these upgrades and then head on out. By which I mean sail back across the lake. Why do I keep saying... Is it still called sailing to when you pilot a boat across water, even if it doesn't have a sail? I think this is an important question. Why is this an important question? I don't know. It's just the kind of thing I care about. So yeah, time to get off the boat. Sort of very lonely sailor, I guess. I don't know, there's a joke there, but I'm not seeing it. Yep, I don't think I'm missing anything, and I'm going to stop this episode now before I completely fall apart into a wreck of coughing. Is that a thing people say? It's absolutely not, but screw it, I'm done. And with that, I will see you next time. Bye!